Hey, it is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. I got a lot of love for my community, people who view my channel, people worldwide, whether you're in Germany, the UK, all over the world. I really appreciate it. It's in the United States as well. But in this video, this quick video, I'm going to have a discussion with my wife on the controversial song that was issued in 1966 by Janis Ian. The name of the song is called Society's Child. And before we get into a discussion, me and my wife, I'm going to give you a little background of the song. And I'll leave the link to the song in the description below. But the song was very controversial because it dealt with the interracial relationship. And the song was recorded in 1965. It was released in 1966, but it didn't get a lot of traction because of the controversy of the song and because of the subject matter and because of the racial climate at the time. A lot of radio stations just flat out wouldn't play it. So it really kind of stopped or restricted the movement of that song on the Billboard Top 100 charts. It didn't get any movement in 1966 at that time. But there was a CBS special called Inside Pop, the Rock Revolution, that aired in April of 1967. And Janis Ian appeared on that show. And the show was hosted by classical conductor-composer Leonard Bernstein, an amazing classical conductor, composer, and piano player. And he was very forward-thinking and very little bit on the liberal side. So he was on the show, and Janis Ian was also on the show. As a matter of fact, Leonard Bernstein introduced her before she sang the song in a very tasteful and eloquent way. And because of her appearance on that show, and because the song got national attention on that show, it moved even further to a positive degree on the Billboard Top 100 charts. It reached number 14 on the Billboard Top 100 charts in 1967. And that was around around the summer of 1967. It reached number 14 on the Billboard Top 100 charts. So because of that show, it gave it a lot more publicity. However, a lot of stations still wouldn't play that song because of the racial climate at the time. And so that song really didn't reach its true potential. You know, it really didn't. It's sad. Janis Ian wrote that song at a very young age. She was born April 7th, 1951. And the song was recorded in 1965. So she was very young when she wrote and recorded that song. That being said, I just want to get my wife's input on the song, what she thinks is the subject matter of the song. And we're going to talk about the way things are now as well, and also back then. Carol?
Well, as you know, I grew up in a home where we were not taught color. We were taught people are people. Mm-hmm. And for us to see people as people and nothing more than people. So in hearing this song, I had my likes and my, I guess, dislikes about it because of what it encompassed. And I just don't see color when I see people, and I don't understand why we can't just see people, why people have to have labels.
Yeah.
And, so you and I have had many discussions about this type of stuff. So the song itself, she explains a lot in the song, and, how other people perceive this person that she likes. And it, to some degree, to me, I don't like the way that people perceive, this person that she's singing about in the song. And
you don't like the way that obviously the guy's black and she's
yes.
white.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the way he's perceived.
No, I don't like the way he's perceived.
In terms of judging him because of his color, you mean?
Exactly.
Okay, right on.
Instead of seeing him just as another person,
mm-hmm.
you know, they're judging him because he's black,
mm-hmm.
you know, and they don't want her around him because of his color. He's not of their kind.
Yeah. But I sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to leave the link to the song in the description below. So you probably should listen to that song. I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but you should probably listen to that song and then watch this video. Sorry for not mentioning that at the beginning of the video, and sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead.
No, I'm done.
Okay. I think it's sad the way things were then, mm-hmm. and how. And oh, by the way, I have to mention as well, when Janis Ian sang that song on the road in live concerts, there are people who bought tickets to her concerts and hurled negative racial words and comments towards her, bigoted words, racial words in a negative way towards her. So she went through some stuff when she performed that song on tour and on concert. It was not well received by everyone. Now, here's my opinion. It's sad the way things were back then. It seems to me that your relationship should be predicated on your love for your partner, how they treat you. In my particular case, my relationship with my wife is predicated on the way she treats me, her love for God and Jesus Christ, her love, her Lord and Savior. And I think outside limits should not limit a relationship, irregardless of race. You know, in that song, their love was limited by racism, where your love should be limited by, or limitless by how much you love the person, how well you treat the person. I consider my relationship with my wife is ever growing in terms of love. There's a song by the Spiral Staircase. And what they say in the song is, I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. And that's saying in that amazing song is, the love has no limits. But in this song, they're setting limits on race and racism and bigotry. Mm-hmm. And that is terribly, terribly wrong. My parents didn't treat me that way either. Both my parents are black. Both Carla's parents are, your father's?
My father's Indian. My mother's white.
White, okay. So my parents went through some crap, okay? You know, they were born in the 30s. Your parents were born in the 30s? Mm-hmm. They were born in the 30s, so they went through some crap being African Americans in the United States. My father didn't let that restrict him. He went on to become an electrical engineer with a master's degree in electrical engineering and a master's degree in business. He went to Kansas State, he went to UCLA, and he went to USC. He didn't let that limit him. He was pushing anyway. My mother went to school. She was a registered nurse. She worked briefly and then became a full-time housewife. But she went through some stuff as a registered nurse because, you know, being a black registered nurse, working in some of those hospitals, you went through some crap. My parents told me some stories about the things they went through. Now, it was not to teach hate, because my parents did not teach their kids hate, but they wanted their kids to be aware of what things, you know, what hurdles we may have to go through. But my parents did not have a racist bone in their body. And you met my father briefly while I was still alive. I met your father as well. And our parents, we were lucky. They didn't have those racist thoughts in their hearts and minds. So they let their kids have the freedom and flexibilities to choose their spouses in the way they want to live their lives. But this song, unfortunately, that's not the case. There's limits. There were limits due to racism, bigotry, and hatred during that time. And it's sad. But she really did an amazing job at a young age with the song. I only have, this is a mono copy of the record. I don't have a stereo copy. But it sounds great because Janis Ian, when you listen to a mono record, the performer or the song and the instruments are in the middle of the sound stage. And your speakers should disappear like they don't exist. And everything is in the center, around the center of the sound stage. So you know when your system is set up right, when you hear the singer and all instruments and instrumentations around the center of the sound stage, and you hear nothing from the speakers. It's like they don't exist. And that's how I was listening to this album on my system. It was an amazing song written by an amazing young girl in the mid-60s. And it's sad she had to go through what she had to go through to get this song out there. From what I understand, this song was introduced to several record companies. It was turned down many times. This was issued on Verb Forecast Records, but many record labels turned this song down when it came out as a single. So a lot of props to Verb Forecast Records. And please leave your comments about this song in the comment section below. And boy, I'm glad, Carla, I met you now and settled in, because we probably wouldn't be together.
I just want to say, for any parents out there or any grandparents, the best thing you can do for your children, as my parents did for us, is to teach your children to see people, not to see colors, not to see all the, different religions. You want them to see people. I think if there were more parents and people out there that could teach their children to see people, I think we would have a lot more love out there. We would have a lot more respect for people out there, everywhere. And I just, I can't praise my parents enough for just teaching us to see people.
Yeah.
I am so thankful that I was brought up that way. And I come from a very large family, and we were all brought up that way, and we are all the same, so.
Yeah, my parents did the same thing. They had you, my parents, I think their overall message, consciously or subconsciously, was to judge people the way they act and treat others, how they conduct themselves, the content of the character, as Martin Luther King used to say. And, don't judge people by race, their religion or color, whatever. Judge them by the content of their character. You don't have a clue with that black person or white person or Hispanic person walking down the street what they're all about till you talk to them. For all you know, they might be in med school at USC or something like that. And you're judging them because they're black or Hispanic or white, whatever, or Asian. Talk to people first. Get to know them. Judge people by their character and not by their race. And it's unfortunate that during that time, the 60s, the 50s, 40s, there were some hard times in terms of, minorities dealing with those things. But things are better. I do notice, however, when me and you go out, we do get looks.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those looks may not, most likely are not because of racism, because it's probably because we're different. People look at things are different. When I see a interracial couple, I look myself, and I'm not racist. I think people like to look at things that are different. And I think that's, by and large, the reason why, because we're different. But things are getting better now. I know with some of those Hallmark shows you watch, they show interracial couples on some of these TV commercials. That seems to be the trend, showing interracial couples. So there are some strides and improvements being made. And we've never been through anything as a couple.
No.
In terms of race or anything. Matter of fact, I don't look at you as white.
I just see you as another person.
I see you as my wife because I look at the way you love me and treat me, and not your race. And I think if you were black, I would look at you the exact same way. It's based on how you treat me. My love for you, which is ever growing, is based on how you love me and treat me, not your color. And I sincerely mean that. You're the greatest. You and my son are the greatest gifts God has ever given me. I'm very appreciative, and it has nothing to do with race or color. It has to do with your character and how much you love me back. And I really appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you.
Any other words?
No. I'm good.
I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Thank you very much for viewing. Please like and subscribe. God bless. Love. Strong peace to all worldwide.